Hello everyone. Welcome back to Anmoll Astrology channel. Now today's video is about Mercury's transit in the sign of Sagittarius. So Mercury is going to transit in the sign of Sagittarius on 4th of January 2025 and it is going to stay there till 24th of January 2025 for 20 days. Sorry. So before we go for the predictions for each and every ascendant, let's first understand what does Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius do, or what does it mean? So some things that we need to, keep in mind are, first of all, Mercury is the planet of our communication, intellect. It's the planet of our quick thinking, our understanding, how quickly we can understand, or how, how do we think, how do we explain something, how do we understand something. Mercury is also considered as the planet that is responsible for, one's revengeful behavior, jealousy, and because Mercury was a planet, Mercury was a person who was considered as the prince in astrology, the person who wants all that attraction and all that attention towards it. Mercury is a very adaptable and very observant person. Mercury gives us the skills, the skills that we use to either follow a business or do something in our life. So Mercury also has a trait of skillfulness. Mercury also represents our sense of humor. So all of these things are represented by Mercury. And now we have the sign of Sagittarius, the original ninth house. And Mercury actually rules the third and the sixth house. So all of these houses are going to get connected. So Sagittarius is the original ninth house, the house of higher learning, the house of higher understanding, the house of your belief system, your morals, your ethics, the house of your understanding, your philosophy, your how philosophical are you, how good your ethics are, what your ethics do talk about. But we also need to understand it is a dharma sign. It is a sign full of fire and passion. The fire and passion of Sagittarius involves the passion towards a goal, towards something. Why a goal? The symbol of Sagittarius is what? Half man, half horse, with a man who is, taking an aim through the bow and arrow. That's why Sagittarius people always have a aim. So if suppose an individual has Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, what can we assume? First of all, what about their communication? These people are going to be very communicative, very abrupt communicators, very impulsive communicators, and they fight for a cause. They communicate for a cause. So people like, for example, someone is a lawyer, someone is a debater, or they are into some sort of profession where they either have to make people learn something, they have to teach people something, they have to teach certain set of skills, or they have to fight for a certain cause, right? So when Mercury is in the sign of Sagittarius, a person, actually, this is a good point also, and this is somewhere a very problematic point also, because when Mercury goes into any of the fire signs, it creates that impulsive and riftness within one's communication. So these people can actually be way more honest, way than what is required, and way more blunt also. Because Mercury being in the sign of Sagittarius gives that fiery nature, gives that passion towards fighting for a cause, towards looking after something and talking about it. So you don't just fight. It's not a physical fight, it's a communicative fight. We see those in news anchors, who are there to reach each other out, who are there to tell them, that you are wrong here, or this is what should be done, this is what should not be done. That is a significance of Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius. Another thing you will see is that Mercury, with when it is in Sagittarius, these people talk a lot about philosophy. They are very, very philosophical. They are very curious about knowledge. And this knowledge is not about, it's not a lower level of knowledge, as in that it's not just common knowledge, it's higher knowledge. It's about wisdom. These people talk about wisdom, these people understand wisdom, and these people look towards attaining knowledge which is associated with wisdom. So when you see a person with Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, you would know that this person is highly knowledgeable, and they would love to talk about their knowledge as well. They would love to guide you as well. They're very consultant also, because that is a combination of Jupiter and Mercury. That is a combination of good academics. That is a combination of good writing skills, good publishing skills. So these people have very impactful speech, very impactful, and with their speech they have an agenda, or they have the capability to bring in change. So they themselves have a very transformative life, and they always have a cause to fight for. Okay, and they're very good with debating skills. Another thing, since Mercury represents one's skills, right? Because Mercury is the original third house. So these people are actually very focused towards their skills. They are very much of a perfectionist with their skills. Since Sagittarius represents bow and arrow, you will also see them to have very good aim. So these people can be excellent, what do we call that sport? Archery sport. They can be very good in that. They can be very good in aiming things, and similarly in their life. If suppose this particular combination is with the seventh house, then that means that these people actually are like that towards the selection of their partner. When they have targeted someone, they will go towards that person. They will, get that person. They have that tendency to get what they aim for. Right. So, in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm actually thinking of that story where in Mahabharata, that that Arjun said that your aim should be at the eye of the fish only. That particular story that is very much associated with these people. That's how focused these people are. And along with that, these people are multi-talented and multi-dimensional. So you won't see a person with Mercury in Sagittarius to just have one set of skills. They are going to have multiple set of skills. That's why in their life, sometimes you would also see, if there is an association of the 10th Lord, 10th house, they can be very confused with what career to follow in their initial years. But later down the lane, they are going to be focused, and they are going to work upon just one career in a very focused manner. Right? Apart from this, Mercury is the natural lord of the third house and the sixth house, and then you're connecting these particular lords with the ninth house. So that means that these people have excellent writing skills, publishing skills, and they have very excellent way of presenting their skills. Right. Since there is an involvement of the sixth house also, one thing I've always seen with Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, that, Sagittarius has one sort of commonality, that there is some sort of war that you have to deal with the sign of Sagittarius. Definitely, there is some sort of war that you have to deal with. And then when Mercury comes there, Mercury is the representation of your relatives and your siblings as well. to some extent, right? Female siblings, but it is siblings. So one thing you will see is when Mercury gets attached to that, you will have to experience a war-like situation within your life, with your relatives or your siblings. So anyone who you are related by blood, you will have to experience a war-like situation with them. That's why I have seen always, I've seen multiple times people telling the other person who has Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius that you have to be very careful with your communication, very careful with your communication, because not all the people have that tendency to listen to what you have to say. Because definitely these people work on facts. They work on what is factual information, right? So that sometimes can be hard to digest. Another thing you would see with these people are, since this is in the ninth house, these people, sometime in their life, they will find themselves into situations where they're going to stuck into some sort of dilemma related to either their morals, their ethics, that whether I should do this, whether I shouldn't do this, or with their religion, or with their spirituality. So it's like for them, their journey to spirituality or ethics is like that they go towards spirituality, something pulls them back. Then they again go towards spirituality, then again something pulls them back. So it's like this constant scenario plays out with these people, right? Another thing you would see is Mercury is also associated with one's attraction and also one's sense of humor. So these people have an excellent sense of humor. They love to put on a smile on their face and on everyone else's face. You'll see them smiling all the time, right? And you will see them being happy around positivity and around elder people. They love to be associated with mature souls. For them, intellectual compatibility is the first priority. They love intellectual people, they love mature souls, and they love to talk about something which has a purpose. Mercury is actually a planet who does not have a significant aim towards having a communication. Like, for example, they don't opt for communication which should be like this, which should be like that. Only the planet which is influencing Mercury is going to decide what kind of communication do they like. But Mercury is up for any type of communication, be it be gossip, be it be higher understanding, be it be practical communication, everything. But when it comes into the sign of Sagittarius, it wants to talk about philosophy. It wants to talk about wisdom. So these people have excellent, uh, you know, sense of humor. They sometimes, if this Mercury gets connected, suppose with Sagittarius, then these people are going to have dark humor. Along with that Mercury also talks about one's attraction. So since it's a fire sign, these people, and Mercury is curiosity, these people get attracted very quickly. So these people may find their interests in something very quickly, and then they would lose the interest in that certain, person, certain subject, or certain work that quickly. So whenever we have Mercury in the sign of, in a fire sign specifically, not just Sagittarius, but in all the fire signs, these people need to have an adventure. They need to have something that excites them. If their life comes to that level where they have to do one thing constantly again and again, they are going to get bored of it, and then they will not be able to maintain that productivity in their life. Okay, so I think I've talked a lot about Mercury in Sagittarius right now. So with the perspective of transit, now we are going to talk about it by entering into the Muhurata chart. Okay, so let's go into the Muhurata chart. Yeah, so I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so this is the Muhurata chart for Mercury's transit. Mercury is going to transit on 4th of January at 12:11 p.m. And Pisces is the rising sign there. So we all know that Muhurata chart does have a significance so as to set a theme for this particular transit. So what I feel that for this particular 20 days, people are going to feel very motivated towards their career. Because in this particular chart, we have Rahu in the first house, and that is in Pisces. Then we have the Lord of the first and the 10th, where Mercury is transiting. We have that in the third house retrograde. We also have Mars retrograde in the fifth house. Then we have Saturn, Moon, and Venus conjunction in the 12th house. You know, this particular chart actually gives me the theme to be a lot about one's inner understanding, the understanding of one's root causes. So, this Mercury transit is actually going to make you obsess over your own personality. For these 20 days, you would want to explore your own talents, your own uh, abilities, your own, what I can do, how I can perform this, how I can look into my skills, what more do I have to offer. That is what this Mercury is going to make you have. But definitely, Mercury going into the sign of Sagittarius, this is a sense of optimism, because Mercury does represents your understanding, and when it is in the sign of Sagittarius, it optimizes your understanding. It makes you go towards a very positive end. It doesn't make you negative, because you know what, we need to understand this fact that we have moved from the sign of Scorpio to the sign of Sagittarius. So there was a lot of darkness, there was a lot of toxicity, and there was I won't say it's typically very bad toxicity, but there was a lot of intensity. And that intensity that took into the deeper sides, darker sides of life. Right. So now this is coming to light. This Mercury is coming to light. It is coming out of that darkness. It is coming out of that, because there was a lot of prominence of a water sign. There was a lot of trauma. There was a lot of sadness there, and non-ability of thinking something, doing something specifically because of a debilitated Mars as well. But now the time is more about action. The time is to first go within, evaluate one's own actions, one's own ethics, that whatever we have done, whatever we have done while Mercury was in the sign of Scorpio, it went retrograde, whatever happened, whatever sadness that we had, now it's about acknowledging the root cause and work towards something better. Work towards a better future, work towards something positive. Or you can say, think of something positive, something productive for the future. Okay, but definitely since Mercury is coming into the nakshatra of Mula, it is going to look towards the root cause, fight for the root cause, fight for good, learn for good, evolve for good. Okay, so that's what this particular Muhurata chart tells me. And this Rahu in the first house, please do not be afraid whenever we get Rahu in the first house of Muhurata chart. It simply means that whatever the theme is going to be there, whatever the feeling that particular transit is going to create, this Rahu is just going to amplify that particular situation or amplify that particular feeling. So this feeling can be triggered by sources of Rahu, like for example, fear, for illusion, fear of future. fear of something which they can feel but is not visible there. So for that, you will be connected a lot towards your spiritual mind or towards your subconscious mind. Okay, so it's like a mix of, the spiritual thing and the action thing. So spiritual plus dharma is coming together here, right? So let's just get started with the um zodiac signs so as to understand it better, that how it is going to affect each and every zodiac sign. So first of all, very first, we are going to start with Pisces. So whenever people ask, so where is Pisces? I know some people might, comment below, where is Pisces? So Muhurata chart, we start from Muhurata chart only, and Muhurata chart is the same as the zodiac sign. Okay, so for Pisces individuals, Mercury is transiting in the 10th house and it is being conjunct with the 6th lord. So it means that during this time, you will be motivated to do something or bring in a change within your career or within your career space. This can actually give you a very rift episode or a very rift communication with someone in authority who is going to be actually younger to you. Or it could mean that your colleagues are going to act as the authoritative ones, and because of that, you're going to have some riftness with them. And this can happen within your workspace, or it can simply happen within your personal life. And this 10th house then becomes whomsoever you connect with within the society. Like, for example, something came into my mind I would like to discuss. For example, you just randomly had some episode in your neighborhood, not with the neighbor, but maybe with anyone within your home. Right now, you feel a lot inspired and a lot fiery with this Mercury when it is about your intelligence, when it is about your understanding, and also about your communication. So anything and everything that you're going to do, that is going to come out in like a spark, like a fire. So that's why you just have to be a little careful with where you show your authority, with how you communicate, how much you communicate. Because most of the time, for these 20 days, this particular, your way of communication may lead to misunderstanding for you as well. Although this is good for you to do something which is, a little different than usual, like exploring options or exploring the root causes of the problems that you have had previously with your career or with your authority. But still, it's like that you have to work in a very ethical manner. You have to work with a little bit of intelligence. Okay, and at the same time, we also have Moon in the 12th house with Saturn and Venus. So I feel that this particular thing which Mercury is showing is going to be triggered because of your emotional state. Emotionally, you will feel very much in your own space. You'll be overthinking, you'll be having restless nights, sleepless nights, and because of that, sleepless nights, you are transforming into this behavior. So, one thing you need to do is you need to relax. You need to have good sleep. You need to calm yourself down. And whatsoever fears are going around within your mind and in your subconscious mind, you have to take charge of that. You have to no longer let them affect you in certain way that comes out in your personality. Okay, now next is the sign of Aries. So for Aries individuals, this is happening in the 9th house, and here we also have a conjunction with the 5th lord. So whenever 5th lord comes to the 9th house, that means that you are going to try to learn something through overseas or through a distant land, or distance learning maybe, but definitely you want to acquire some sort of um, higher education. You want to educate yourself, you want to feed yourself with knowledge. And this is also a very good month for you to do something where you are going to be recognized and also where you are going to be respected for. So this Mercury is actually going to make you motivated towards your morals and your ethics. And you're going to use them within your speech and within your work and everything else. So if you're planning to go back to college, or you're planning for going for higher studies, this is the best time for you to apply that. Because at the same time, you also have Moon, Venus, and Saturn in the 11th house. So this is a nice combination to get the results of your efforts. Your efforts will somehow be, recognized, and you are going to feel a little bit fortunate within all the activities you do within this particular time period. So you need to get out of that debilitation zone, because for Aries ascendant, Mars is debilitated right now, but we need to understand it is retrograde. You need to go back. You need to go out of this, frustrating combination, and then you need to work towards what you're planning and what goals you are setting for yourself. So it is a very goal oriented month. I think it is more of like we usually do make resolutions for a new year, but I think Aries people will be able to achieve in the first month only. So definitely work towards that. And also this is a year of your ascendant lord only, Mars. So it is going to be a very upfront and very initiative year for you, right? So do take the advantage of that. Right now, next is going to be Taurus ascendant. So for Taurus ascendant or Taurus moon sign, this particular conjunction is happening in, not conjunction, this transit is happening in the 8th house. So Mercury, when goes into the 8th house, it makes you very curious to know about the hidden information or the hidden knowledge. So this particular transit shows me that now you are going out of that, suppressive zone. And here we also have the conjunction with Sun, with the 4th lord. So I do feel first thing that you are going to be very much in your own space and learning what is hidden, learning and researching about what is hidden. This, since this involves the 2nd and the 4th lords, it does mean that you might want to invest your money into some sort of fixed assets. And that is not going to be like you're going to, it can be purchase of a home, but it's more of like purchasing a property for investment purpose. And that can be, you purchasing along with your spouse, or you can purchase that in partnership, or you will be able to purchase that on your own. But that is going to be something you're going to keep for longer. This particular investment can give you good results in a long term. So even if you are planning to, you know, invest into shares for long term, that is also going to be beneficial. On a whole, it is a very good combination for you to learn and research about investment options and then to invest accordingly. It can also bring in significant change within your emotions and within the structure or within the environment of your home. You might want to get some construction or some renovations done, or maybe there is a possibility that there is something that happens within your house which would need to be corrected from the roots. Like, for example, there is some water breakage, there is some demuck, what do we call them? Like termites, right? So for that, what you'll have to do, you'll have to break everything open and then you have to get it corrected and then close it back. So some sort of this situation can happen also. But this time you are trying to go towards the root cause of everything, root cause of your conflicts, your health, your relationships. This is something which is going to come into light. Some secrets that were hidden from you or that were hidden by you, that may also surface. Okay, so these are the things I see for a Taurus rising individual, but I do feel that right now you are very considerate and very concerned with your career, or with your social service, or with how you interact with the society, or what society thinks about you. So I think somehow you are taking too much pressure of it. But by taking too much pressure of it, you definitely are going to look for options where you're going to work in a very futuristic manner. So when it's about career, you will be researching something, you'll be doing something which is going to give you later success, which is going to give you futuristic success. Okay. Then the sign of Gemini. So for Geminis, this particular Mercury is transiting in the seventh house. So for Gemini individuals, and now this Mercury is actually your first and fourth lord. Along with that, it is getting conjunct with the third lord. First of all, this shows travel. If you are living overseas, you would want to travel towards your home where your roots are connected. And if you are, living at your homeland, or maybe it just signifies that you are going to travel, but this travel definitely is going to be long distance. It can also be to spend some time, to have some leisure experience, so as to have some time off by yourself. Right. Along with this also shows that you are going to obtain your wisdom by interacting with other people, by interacting with the younger people, and also very authoritative people. You may have misunderstanding within your relationship, so you have to be very careful with your communication and with whom you are interacting with. Although it does show that there can be some past issue that may arise with other person. That other person can be your partner in concern, your ex, or that person can generally be a friend who was there in the past. Right? So that particular conflict can resurface, or you might want to open the books again. Okay, but it definitely shows whatever happens in these 20 days, that is actually going to give you that intellect, that like it is going to give you a learning, an experience, so as to you will get to know that I must have not done this, I should have done this way. So that kind of understanding it is going to give you. Now, for Gemini people also, you might want to make some changes either in your personality, in your appearance, or some significant changes. Like, for example, someone wants to get their hair done, get their hair colored, right? Or you just want to make some changes within your home. You want to decorate your home in a certain way, or you want to renovate your home in a certain way. At the same time, you have this conjunction of Saturn, Moon, and Venus in the ninth house. So it talks more about you being associated with, higher knowledge, learning experiences. You'll be actually futuristically, you'll be thinking about how my actions today are going to affect my morals. But still, you might have taken some negative decisions which you might realize now, or you might take some action and instantly get a karma, and you'll understand that I did something wrong. That's why this is happening. So this is a kind of feeling that I see very constantly within Geminis. Now the sign of Cancer. For Cancer individuals, this particular Mercury is transiting in the sixth house, right? So, this is going to help you for getting done with your conflicts once and for all. This particular transit can bring in a battle, can bring in a verbal battle as well. But this battle be emotionally, be verbally, be any other ways. It is going to get your conflicts resolved once and for all. And along with that, it also means that there can be some, some health issue that you have, that either resurfaces or you just have to deal with it. So be very careful with your ENT, ENT as in ear, nose, throat, and also your digestive system. You'll have to take care of all these factors, but this particular time period is a little bit of disturbing. Although I remember when I was giving the predictions for 2025 for Cancer ascendants, I remember telling that they actually are going to get done with everything once and for all, and they are going to have a better space in 2025. But I feel that for this particular transit, it's like you're re-dealing, and you're dealing with some sort of conflict, and you're getting a little bit uncomfortable. And because of whatever it is going to be, your emotions are going to transform. They are going to transform big time. And also you're going to distance yourself, you're going to isolate yourself, you're going to spend some me time, some time with yourself. Right. And this particular Mercury is conjunct with it is the Lord of the 12th and the third house. So it also talks about your skills that you do in every day. You might want to refine, or you might want to learn a set of skills that, you already have, but you just want to polish them more. You might want to learn about them. You might want to go for a diploma. You might want to go for a short course to learn that. And it also gets conjunct with the second house. I do see that your income might come from advisory, or by advising someone, by counseling someone, or by fighting for someone. You may get some sort of income, and it also shows that some expenditure will be incurred either on your own health or on the health of any family member. Okay. Now, for the sign of Leo. So for Leo ascendants, Mercury is transiting in the fifth house, and it is the Lord of the 11th and the second house, and it is conjunct with the first Lord. So first of all, it is creating a very brilliant Dhan Yoga. It is also creating Raj Yoga, but specifically what it is creating is a Dhan Yoga. So for Leos, you can expect the month of January to be a positive month for you. You might have money incoming either from your family or from your investments. Okay, but something good you can expect, some recognition you can expect. And there could even be that you might have birth of a child. If you are a Leo and you are a male, or even it would work with females, there could be, that this month your child is coming in life. It's not about initiation of the process, or it is not about pregnancy. It is about birth of the child. It also shows that this particular Mercury is going to transform your understanding and of past and present and also future. So this is a very much of a learning experience for you, but very in a positive way. Also, this shows that you are going to work towards your skills, which are related to your creativity, your creative self-expression. And also, if you are planning to go, and learn something, to go for higher studies, or actually fifth house is about your college studies rather than your higher studies. So it actually talks about you going back to college and want to complete your college, or want to get done with your college if that was stopped previously, or that had a break previously. So this talks about that. Or otherwise, it just talks about you refining your creative skills, right? And you will also be learning about mythology during this month, spirituality, mythology, spiritual books, everything of that sort. Okay, but when it's about love, you are recalling someone from the past. It's not like you are actually recalling them, but actually recalling as in not physically. It's like in your mind you are revisiting that particular person, and you are thinking about them. You're thinking about how things turned out and whether they were right or not. So this is something that has been going within your mind, and which has taken most of the space within your intelligence and within your mind space. Okay. And at the same time, you have Saturn, Moon, Venus in the seventh house. So somehow in your mind, you have a lot of things, you have a lot of realizations, you want to do a lot of things. Like you want to confess, you want to talk, you want to go back and interact with the person you love. But this combination in the seventh house is somehow restricting that. So it's like that the action is not being there right now. It's more in the head, not physically there. And you will experience a lot of emotions towards your partner, towards your wife, towards your spouse, or towards your husband, towards your partners. But somehow, something which has happened in the past is going to hold you back. So romantically, it is a kind of tricky situation for Leos, but professionally and monetarily, I think it is very good. Then sign of Virgo. So for Virgo individuals, Mercury is coming into the fourth house. So definitely Virgo people would want to have a significant change in their office space or their home space, or within the structure of their home, or even within their appearance. This Mercury is going to make you take decisions like this, like just like just that. I want to do this, I want to do that. You would want to decorate your home in a very royal manner and in a very attractive manner. You will feel very attracted to different things. You'll be learning, you'll be reading books during this time, and you would want to, the only problematic thing I see here is that there could be some I won't say typically suffering, but I would say some lesson that is going to be there for your mother, of your mother figure, right? Uh, your mother might feel that I am getting a lesson. There is a situation where I don't feel very comfortable to. And even you may have debates with your mother during this time. So be very careful with your communication within your home, with your mother, because I feel somehow your mother needs extra attention right now. And also you are very much into that zone where you are up for a conflict, you are up for a debate with anyone, and especially with your mother. So there can be lack of similar opinion because of which this might happen. Now, there we have the lords of the first house, lords of the 10th and 12th. So there can be some significant expense towards home. And also you would want to be near your home. If you are living away from your homeland, away from your home, like as in your parents, your whoever you have in your home, you would want to visit them, you want to go towards them. And this also shows me that for some time you might go into work from home kind of a situation, or you would want to build a office like space for yourself. But I do see, because the 10th lord is going into the fourth house, you will either have to do something related to research within your workspace, or you would want to just change your work for something, you just want to change the line of your work, right? So you may get ideas, you may look for ideas, so whereas to where you can, where you can do or what you can do in terms of your career. Okay. And along with that, you also have Moon, Venus, and Saturn in the sixth house. So when it's about relationships, you will feel you will feel conflicted towards relationships, right? Emotionally, you will feel very conflicted, very confused about, you know, your whatever conflicts that you have gone through, because for Virgo individuals, time has not been the best. You guys have experienced so much of up and down, and you have experienced such a big transformation in your personality. But for these particular 20 days, you might feel a little heavier on the mind. There can be a lot of things that you have to do, and the time is short. So you need, that kind of a pressure that we get when we have so many things lined up and we have to just get done with that. That is a situation I see for you. But I do see you to be working in your daily basis, even though if for some time you take a break from your work, still you are going to do something. You're going to be there in your daily routine. You're going to do something, and also take very good care of your health. I do see that there is some, ups and downs with your digestive system that needs to be taken care of. Okay. So next is the sign of Libra, right? Just a sec. Now, Mercury is transiting in the third house, and it is sitting with Sun. It is the Lord of the ninth house, 11th house, and 12th house. So first of all, it shows that you are going to uh, find your interest into something which is related to deep research. You would talk about certain conflicts or certain problems that you have had, or just it's like a time where you'll be speaking your heart out, right? So this is actually a good time for you to bring in some changes, either within your skills, within your talents, or within your job, because third house is related to job. And at the same time, we also have Rahu in the sixth house, and Rahu is going to leave your sixth house very soon. Before that, it will give you some sort of significant event. So if, for example, you are into job, you might want to reconsider the option of your job. You might want to reconsider about how you want to go ahead with it, right? But this is a good time for you to travel, to your home, or to travel at a shorter distances, right? And this also talks about some expenditure that you are going to take towards either younger sibling, towards the health of the younger sibling, or towards simply traveling. And you may also actually gain from your skills, or from your younger sibling, or from your closer friends, neighbors also, right? But over and all, this is a time where you can be very communicative, but along with that, you can be misunderstood for your communication. And this can happen in your personal and professional both lives, right? So use this particular situation wisely, because I feel that it's very much in your hand whether to use this in a positive manner or not. Now, the sign of Scorpio. So for Scorpios, Mercury is coming into the second house. When Mercury comes into the second house, it makes you go towards your financial management skills. Mercury tells you to talk or look into your finances and look into your what you have, how much you have, be a more of an analyst towards your finances. But you know what? This is actually a good time for you to create wealth. It's not like you're going to earn from somewhere. It's not like that, but it's more of like not earn from somewhere as in that where you were already, if you had a earning source. It's not about that. It's about creating wealth. It's about evaluating and creating the sources from where you can earn. Along with that, this time is actually very important and prominent for your communication. You have Moon, Saturn, and Venus in the fourth house. You have been emotionally very distant, very guarded. But I feel that this Saturn is going to go away in March. Before that, it's like that before the Saturn goes away, now you're finally going to open up about your communication. You're going to put a command of your communication. You're going to um, whatever you will want to speak now, you will want to communicate certain things now, and whatever you do, that is going to be impactful. You're going to talk about the root causes of your problems, your positive things, good, bad, everything, and it will give a transformative relationship with the family. You speaking your heart out is going to transform a lot of your relationships with your family, with your partnership, with anyone in your surroundings. And for this while, I feel that you're going to feel very practical. And with a practical mind, with an honest heart and mind, you're going to speak all of it. This time period is good for wealth and wealth creation. Now we have the 8th Lord, we have the 10th Lord, and we also have the 11th Lord. So it is kind of creating a Dhan Yoga for Leos as well. Sorry, for Scorpios as well. So for Leo and Scorpios, there is a prominent Dhan Yoga. For Leos, it was in the 5th house, and for you, it is in the 2nd house. You are going to receive money from somewhere, or you are going to create it by yourself. But definitely, the month of January is something which is good for wealth creation for you, or, or you may make certain investments which are going to be fruitful during this month. Right? Now, the sign of Sagittarius. So, for Sagittarius, this particular transit is actually happening in the 1st house. This is your time to actually look into yourself, everything about yourself, your appearance, your abilities, your talents, the way you communicate, and everything else. And specifically, I would say your health and your appearance. I don't know if you have been very inconsiderate with your health lately, but with this Mercury's transit, you would want to work towards your health. You would want to now eat certain, homegrown or home cooked food, or, deep rooted vegetables and everything. You would want to eat all of those things so as to get back on track with your weight and with your physique. Because something in your health has been bothering, something in your physical appearance has been bothering. And also, this shows that you are feeling very fearful and conflicted with your work, with yourself, and you want to improve. You want to improve certain things. You want to keep in track with certain things. And you're going to put your hard work, you're going to put your skills into it. Also, this is a very good time to communicate. So if you have you have business, or you have work that is associated with communication, or that is associated with research, this can be a good time for you to do it. Okay, so along with that, we have the 9th Lord, the 10th Lord, and the 7th Lord in the 1st house. Your partner also would want to bring in changes within you, and your partner is going to support you with that. You're going to feel more fortunate during this time. This month is going to appear to be a fortunate, and it is going to also build your authority. You're going to do something creative and something very positive change within your career, which is going to benefit you. Okay, but just be careful of your emotions, be careful of your emotional stability. Although I think this moon, Saturn and Venus conjunction in the third is actually creating that stability in a very unstable environment, but still this moon and Venus is going to give some sort of effects there as well. Okay, so your efforts will count, your efforts will matter, right? But also be very grounded, be very generous with your ego and pride. Don't let that come within your way. Now, next is the sign of Capricorn. So, for Capricorn moon and ascendant signs, this transit of Mercury is happening in the 12th house. It is the lord of the 6th house and the 12th house, and also it gets conjunct with the 8th lord. It shows me a significant change of residence. There's a possibility that either you are planning to go to a distant land, maybe you're filing for a visa, just for the leisure travel it could also be, but it could also be for like you are applying for your PR, you are applying for your work visa or any sort of visa which might have been previously declined. For some cases, it could even be this, that it might have been declined earlier and you're reapplying it. That could be a possibility. But otherwise, for people who are freshly doing that, it's just that you want to visit somewhere, you want to, travel, and you want to learn something, or you want to go for higher education, and then you are applying for such a thing. This also means that there could be some expenditure towards hospitals, asylums, or meditation retreats. You just want to travel somewhere where you are close to nature and you are close to, um, you know, um, a place which is full of spirituality and which makes you feel at peace. So if Capricorn individuals, you're not feeling good, go to somewhere which is close to nature. Some places which gives that, Switzerland or Srinagar vibes. Okay. So you would love that. And this also shows that you're going to be more in your own personal space. You are going to be working and learning a lot of things online in your private space. At night time you're going to feel very active during the night time, and you would want to research a lot of things. Also, this is a good time for you to build wealth. Very stable foundation, a stability towards your finances and income is coming towards you, right? For that, you will have to take significant decisions. Okay, but also along with that, unlike your sacrificial nature, now you would want to keep yourself happy. You would want to spend somewhere which makes you happy. Either it's about getting a home, it's about, buying a property, or it's as light as, just visiting a fine restaurant and having a dinner at that. Okay, just be careful of not getting addicted to something, especially alcohol or any substance which is addictive, because I do feel that this month can be very addictive for you, and you may be attracted towards addictive substances. Now, lastly, we have the sign of, I was going to say Satabashrak for some reason, I don't know why, the sign of Aquarius. So for Aquariuses, this transit of Mercury is happening in the 11th house. So Mercury in the 11th, it is the lord of the 5th house, the 8th house, and also it is getting conjunct with the 7th lord. So definitely for Aquariuses, there's an opportunity of marriage, but but that is down the lane. Right now, I do feel that you are going to settle your terms, or, get over with something related to the past. You might have had a relationship in the past. You might have had a friend in the past. Something is on your mind, and that is going to resurface also, and you're going to talk. You're going to go to the root cause, deal with the root cause, and get done with it. You may also obtain something from your inheritance, right? It's more of like, you know, you can say inheritance or something associated with your roots. You are going to actually get some sort of blessings related to your ancestors. Okay. So during this time, like right now, you are also experiencing a time where you're feeling very judged. You're feeling like everyone is out there criticizing you, being around you, trying to attack you, or just waiting for you to do something, and just they get an opportunity to pinpoint that. So that is a kind of scenario which is going around right now, but it will be something which is going to get done with very quickly, as soon as Saturn goes away. But this also shows that you have to put up a fight to be recognized now. You are going to learn and evaluate the root cause of why the recognition did not happen, or why something went off the track. And you're going to mend that. You're going to get done with that. And for that, you're going to receive support from authoritative figures, and from also younger people from you, younger yet authoritative people. And also you may get support from government. But emotionally, I see that right now you are on that path that you have started becoming very practical, and you'll choose to take decisions based on what's good or what's best for you in the future, and in a very practical manner. You're no longer going to give people the benefit of the doubt, or give them, the instance where they can again attack you, or do something which is not in your favor, right? And this also shows there can be some interactions with your past friends, your exes, or something of that sort, because 11th house gets a lot of prominence, right? It will also give you an opportunity to help others, or to help some organizations which are related to higher learning, which are related to Sagittarius kind of stuff. Okay, education, higher learning, stuff like that. Okay, guys. So this was my analysis about Mercury transit in the sign of Sagittarius. I hope this helps. We'll see you next time. Till then, take care. And also, if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you guys would like to have your personal readings, you can check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com. And under the reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And under unique reading section, you can book a unique reading for yourself. Okay. See you next time. Bye bye. Take care.